Discipline is not something you use when life feels right. It's something you live by when everything feels wrong. That's the mindset shift this book is here to create. You don't need more motivation. You need to turn discipline into your normal way of life. This isn't about forcing yourself to hustle 24/7. It's about building a personal system where focus isn't a fight, and progress doesn't depend on how you feel. In real life, people start with passion, but fall apart in the details. They say they'll wake up early, exercise, study, build a business, but none of it lasts. Why? Because they treat discipline like a moment instead of a lifestyle. This book changes that. It's built for people who are tired of stopping and starting, people who know they're capable of more and are ready to live like it. Every chapter is a clear step to help you act, improve, and stay consistent without burning out. If you've ever said, "I just need to get my life together," this is where it starts. With structure, with purpose, with discipline that doesn't fade. This time, it becomes who you are. Chapter 1. Make discipline your normal way of living. I am standing here to speak from a place of honesty and deep belief. Many people think discipline is something you only use when you feel inspired or when you have a special goal for a short period. They treat it like a short project. But real change comes when discipline stops being an event and becomes the way you live. It becomes what you wake up to and how you go to sleep. It becomes the way you act when no one is watching. Discipline is not a punishment or a burden. It is one of the most caring things you can ever give yourself. It is the path to a life that feels proud and strong from the inside. A lifestyle of discipline means you no longer fight with yourself every day. You no longer wake up arguing with your own mind about what you should do. You decide the type of person you want to be, and then you act like that person again and again until it feels natural. When discipline becomes normal, it becomes peaceful. You stop depending on mood or motivation. You move because the action is part of you. Many people want results without changing the way they live. They want success while keeping old habits that hold them back. They want to feel confident without practicing confidence. They want to reach goals without showing up each day. The truth is simple. You cannot build a new life with the same actions that created the old one. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. You do not transform your life in one giant moment. You transform your life through small actions repeated daily until they shape a new identity. I speak directly to the part of you that knows you deserve more. You know you can become stronger mentally and emotionally. You know you are capable of more than what you are offering right now. You might feel stuck or tired or stressed. You might feel behind, but you are not behind. You are simply at the moment when a new chapter is asking to begin. Discipline is your pen. You write the next page with the choices you make today. A disciplined life starts with small promises. For example, you say you will wake up at a certain time. You say you will finish a task before resting. You say you will take care of your health. You say you will stay focused for a set amount of time. When you keep those promises, you grow trust in yourself. That trust becomes confidence. With confidence, you feel stronger. With strength, you take on bigger steps. And with bigger steps, you build a lifestyle that lifts you far above where you started. When you keep breaking promises, you drain your self-respect. You start believing your own excuses. You begin to think you cannot change. But that is not true. You can change. Every person can. The moment you decide to act like the person you wish to become, you begin the shift. The first day might be messy. The second day might be uncomfortable. The third day might feel tiring. But each day you show up, you are creating a lifestyle that supports your dreams. Discipline feels uncomfortable in the beginning because your old lifestyle tries to pull you back. Your old habits whisper that you can do it tomorrow. They say you can relax. They say it does not matter. But your future self is calling. Your future self is stronger, healthier, more secure, more proud. Your future self is watching your choices today. Discipline means choosing that future version of you every time you want to quit. When people ask how to stay committed, the answer is simple. Decide who you are, not who you hope to be or wish to be. Decide who you are, starting today. If you tell yourself you are someone who finishes what you start, then act like that person. If you tell yourself you are someone who takes care of your body, then treat your health like a priority every single day. If you tell yourself you are someone who grows mentally, then spend time reading, learning, thinking, improving. Your identity guides your choices, so choose a strong identity and support it through action. A life of discipline does not take away joy. It increases joy. You feel proud when you finish something that matters. You feel peace when you have control over your own actions. You feel energized when your habits support your well-being. You feel excitement when you notice progress. You feel appreciation when your life becomes a reflection of effort and not excuses. Imagine waking up each day knowing you are moving forward. Imagine feeling proud not only because of where you are going, but because of who you are becoming. That is what a disciplined lifestyle gives you. Not instant pleasure, but deep satisfaction. Not random success, but continuous growth. Not chaos, but structure that supports your goals. People often wait for the perfect day to start new habits. They wait for the right mood or the right time. But the right time does not appear. The right time is created by action. Starting is hard, but waiting is harder when you know you are capable of more. Start where you are. Use what you have, give what you can, and grow from there. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will feel stressed. Some days you will want a break. Discipline is not about being perfect. It is about returning to your path every time you wander. One bad day does not erase progress. One mistake does not define your life. What matters is the return. A disciplined lifestyle means you always return to the habits that serve you. Take a moment to imagine your best future life. Notice how you feel in that vision. Notice the way you walk, the way you speak, the confidence you hold. That person is not created by one big moment. That person is built through steady action. Discipline turns dreams into daily behavior. Daily behavior shapes the lifestyle that supports that future. Look around your life right now. Everything in it is a reflection of your past discipline or your past lack of discipline. That might feel uncomfortable to accept, but acceptance gives you power. Because if your past choices created this current reality, then your new choices can create a better future reality. You hold the power to improve. One strong decision, one discipline, one day at a time. There is a hidden strength inside you. You have a mind that can learn and adapt. You have a heart that can endure struggle. You have a spirit that refuses to quit. Activate that strength. Discipline awakens the powerful side of you, the side that does not run away from effort, the side that rises even when challenged, the side that wants a life full of meaning. Every morning gives you a chance to show discipline. You choose how you start your day. You choose how you treat your goals. You choose how you respond to challenges. You choose how much effort you give. Those choices become habits. Those habits become your character. That character becomes your lifestyle. The greatest reward of discipline is becoming proud of who you are. Proud of the person in the mirror, proud of the actions you took, proud of the habits you built, proud of the life you live. You earn that pride through consistent discipline made easier because it becomes your normal way of living. The time has come to take ownership of your life. The time has come to act like the person you know you can be. You deserve a lifestyle that reflects strength, success, respect, and growth. Discipline is the key. Start with one habit. Hold yourself accountable. Show up every day. Stay true to the life you want. Soon, discipline will not feel forced. It will feel natural. It will feel right. It will feel like you. Make discipline your normal way of living and watch your entire life improve from the inside out. Chapter 2. Choose routines that shape your future identity. Every person has a picture in their mind of the life they want. Maybe you want to feel confident. Maybe you want to be successful in your work. Maybe you want better relationships or stronger health. Whatever your dream looks like, it always connects to the person you want to become. You are not chasing a thing, you are shaping an identity. And the routines you choose each day are building that identity step by step. If you want a better future, then your habits must reflect that future long before you arrive there. Identity is not formed by talking about change. Identity is shaped by doing the things that match the life you want. When you take actions that your future self would take, your mind starts believing that this is who you truly are. You build a sense of self that says, I am capable, I am responsible, and I am growing. Most people think their identity is fixed. They say this is just how I am. But that line stops growth. Who you are right now is only who you have practiced being. Change what you practice, and you change who you become. A routine is a set of actions that remove confusion from your day. When you follow a routine, you do not waste time trying to decide what is right. You already built the structure. You know what needs to be done. You simply follow through. This creates mental clarity. You save energy that used to go into debating with yourself. This extra energy becomes a powerful force for progress. Your life flows smoother because your actions are planned and intentional. Think about the person you want to be in 5 years. Picture their behavior. Do they wake up with purpose? Do they take care of their health? Do they keep learning and improving? Do they stay focused on what matters? If the answer is yes, then choose routines that support those qualities starting now. If you want to read more, become the person who reads a little every night. If you want to be healthier, move your body every day. If you want success in your work, set a routine that keeps you disciplined and productive. These are not random tasks. They are identity-building steps. There is a strong connection between actions and beliefs. When you act in a certain way, your mind adjusts to match your behavior. If you choose routines that build strength, you will believe you are strong. If you choose routines that build self-control, you will believe you are in control. And confidence grows. Confidence does not appear from nowhere. It rises when you see evidence that you can count on yourself. Your routines provide that evidence every single day. Routines also protect you from falling back into old patterns. Without routines, your day is controlled by impulse and distractions. You wake up checking your phone. You eat whatever is easy. You delay the work you know you should finish. You slip into behaviors that do not match your goals. But when you have strong routines, you guard your energy and attention. You make the important things automatic so they always get done. You create a lifestyle that keeps you moving in the right direction. Many people struggle because they keep changing their goals, but not their habits. They want better results while doing the same daily actions. That does not work. The future version of you is living with better routines than you are now, so you must upgrade your daily choices. True improvement is not about trying harder. It is about building a system that makes improvement easier. Routines are that system. You shape your identity most in the smallest moments. The moment you decide to begin your morning with a plan instead of rushing. The moment you choose to show up for your responsibilities instead of delaying. The moment you care for your physical and mental health with discipline. These small decisions might seem simple, but they are powerful because they happen repeatedly. Every day you do them, you strengthen the identity you want. There is something deeply rewarding about a life built on routines that you choose for yourself. It feels stable. It feels meaningful. You do not rely on luck. You rely on action. You rely on your values. You rely on your own decisions. You live with purpose instead of reacting to everything around you. This sense of control and direction builds a quiet confidence inside you. You begin to trust your ability to create the life you desire. When creating routines, think about what supports the person you want to become. Choose habits that help you think clearly. Choose habits that help you feel strong. Choose habits that push you toward growth. For example, if you want to become someone who leads others, start leading yourself first. Organize your days. Hold yourself accountable. Follow through. If you want to become someone respected, then speak with honesty and kindness every day. Become the example of the qualities you want to gain. The future identity you want will not appear suddenly. It grows quietly through your daily behavior. The early days might feel boring or slow. You might not see results right away. But remember that routines are forming a new foundation inside you. You are building a person who can handle success. You are building a person who does not break under pressure. You are building a person who knows where they are going. You have the power to redesign your life through consistent routines. Nobody can take this power away from you. You decide what to practice. You decide what to repeat. You decide what becomes normal. You do not need permission from anyone to improve yourself. Begin with one routine that feels important to your growth. Practice it daily until it feels automatic, then slowly add another. This is the path to a stronger identity and a stronger life. Some people avoid routines because they think structure removes freedom. But the truth is, structure gives you more freedom. When you are disciplined with your time, you gain more time for what you love. When your actions align with your values, you feel happier and more peaceful. You avoid stress that comes from chaos and unfinished responsibilities. Routines protect your future. They create the space where your goals can become reality. There will be days when you feel tired or discouraged. That is part of growth. Change does not feel easy at first, but you do not need to be perfect. You only need to stay committed. A single setback does not destroy progress. You return to your routine the next day. This simple return is what builds lasting success. You keep showing up for your goals because they matter, and each return makes your identity stronger. You deserve a life that reflects your true potential. You deserve to feel proud of your habits and your actions. You deserve a future that feels like a celebration of your growth. Your routines are the bridge to that future. They turn hope into progress. They turn dreams into identity. They turn effort into achievement. Choose routines that shape your future identity. Take ownership of the person you are becoming. Act in ways that match your goals. Live each day with purpose. If you repeat the right behaviors long enough, you will wake up one day and realize that the person you once imagined has become the person you are.
Chapter 3. Build structure that supports your best behavior. A strong life is not built on chance. A strong life is built on a clear structure that guides your behavior in the right direction. When you create a structure that supports your best behavior, you set yourself up for progress every single day. Structure makes your actions easier to follow. Structure helps you stay honest with yourself. Structure gives your goals a real chance to become part of your everyday life. Without structure, your days become random. You react to everything instead of leading your life. You move without purpose and your best qualities stay hidden. When you build structure, you give those qualities the space to grow. Your environment has a powerful influence on how you act. If your environment is filled with distractions, it becomes difficult to stay disciplined. If your environment is clear, organized, and supportive, you feel focused and ready to take action. You do not rise to the level of your dreams. You rise to the level of the structure you create for yourself. This means you must build conditions that make it easier to do what is right and harder to do what hurts your progress. A strong structure removes confusion and reduces temptation. It allows your best behavior to show up without a constant fight. Think about your daily spaces, your room, your workspace, your kitchen, your phone. Each one of these spaces can either help you or hold you back. When you set up your desk to support focus, you are more likely to finish your work. When you keep healthy choices available, you are more likely to take care of your body. When you organize your schedule around priorities, you make sure important actions happen first. Structure does not control your life. It supports your life. It makes sure your time is spent in a way that pushes you toward the future you want. Every person has moments of weakness. You may feel tired, stressed, or uncertain. In those moments, your structure becomes a safety net. It reminds you of your standards and keeps you walking in the right direction. When you have a strong structure, you do not rely on feeling motivated every day. You rely on a plan that already supports your success. You keep moving because the system you built builds you forward. Your best behavior becomes the default instead of something you must constantly fight for. Clarity is a major part of strong structure. When you clearly know what you want from your day, you save your mind from headache and confusion. You know what must be done first. You understand what matters most. You do not waste time wondering where to begin. You move from one meaningful action to another, with confidence and purpose. Clarity also protects you from negative influences. When you know your direction, you do not chase every distraction or accept every invitation that pulls you away from your goals. Structure teaches you to make choices that serve your future. Building structure includes creating specific times for key actions. Set a time for learning, a time for work, a time for rest, a time for taking care of your health, a time for connecting with the people who matter. When each area of your life has a place in your schedule, you avoid neglecting what is important. Time becomes your partner instead of your enemy. A strong schedule brings balance. It helps you use the day wisely instead of letting the day disappear without progress. Structure also includes routines that repeat day after day. These routines create stability and peace. You do not worry about forgetting what matters because the routine takes care of it. When your structure includes routines that reflect your values, you build a life that is steady and reliable. You gain control over your actions and your results. Your confidence grows because you know you can depend on yourself. Another piece of strong structure is removing what gets in the way of your best behavior. If your phone pulls your attention, remove it from your workspace. If certain activities waste your time, limit them. If some people make you doubt yourself, spend less time around them. Structure means protecting your progress from anything that lowers your standards. This is not about pushing life away. It is about building a life that brings out the strongest version of you. Good structure supports your mental health too. When you feel overwhelmed, it is often because everything is unorganized. Tasks pile up, stress grows, anxiety rises. You start doubting your ability to handle life. But when you put things in order and build a clear structure, you reduce stress. You calm your mind. You feel capable again. You can breathe. You feel like you are in control because your life has shape and direction. Mental strength grows when your days have purpose and order. Each structure you build should match the identity you want to grow into. For example, if you want to be someone who uses time wisely, create a structure that removes delays and pushes you to take action. If you want to be someone who is physically strong, build a structure that includes regular exercise and healthy choices. If you want to be someone who leads others, create a structure that trains you to make decisions with confidence. Your structure should serve the person you are working to become. There will be moments when you want to ignore the structure you created. You might feel lazy or unmotivated. You might want to skip a habit or break a rule you set for yourself. This is when structure is needed most. The structure you build must be strong enough to hold you even when you feel weak. Your life changes when your structure steps in at the exact moment. Your excuses appear. You move forward because your system supports you when motivation disappears. Do not overwhelm yourself by building a complete structure overnight. Start simple. Choose one part of your life that needs more order. Create a small structure for that part. Practice it every day until it feels natural. Then move to the next part. Slowly you will build a complete structure that supports your best behavior in every area of life. Progress does not come from doing everything at once. Progress comes from improving your structure, piece by piece, until the whole picture becomes strong. A well-built structure also helps you measure progress. You can see what you finished. You can see what still needs attention. You can see how far you have come. This gives you real proof that your effort is working. It gives you motivation to continue. You feel proud when you check off meaningful tasks. You feel encouraged when you notice improvement happening regularly. Structure makes success visible. When you build a structure that supports your best behavior, you are saying yes to a life of purpose. You are saying yes to growth. You are saying yes to your future. You are giving yourself a real chance to become the person you always knew you could be. Your behavior improves not because someone forces you, but because you designed a system that helps you act with excellence. You take ownership of your actions and your direction. The most powerful change in life comes when discipline becomes natural. And discipline becomes natural when structure makes it easy to do the right thing. Build a structure that reflects the life you want. Build a structure that protects your time. Build a structure that supports your health. Build a structure that strengthens your confidence. Build a structure that raises your standards. Build a structure that reminds you every day of who you are becoming. Your best behavior should not appear only on your strongest days. It should appear every day because your structure allows it. When your life has order, your best qualities rise. Your habits align with your goals. Your actions match your values. Your identity becomes solid. You gain respect for yourself. You step into each day, knowing you are building something meaningful. A strong structure is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It turns discipline into a way of living. It gives you the power to transform your future one intentional day at a time.
Chapter 4. Strengthen self-control through honest daily choices. Self-control is one of the greatest strengths a person can develop. It is not something you are born with in full shape. It is built through honest daily choices. Every day you face moments where you must decide between what feels easy now and what feels rewarding later. These moments might seem small, but they decide the direction of your life. Self-control is choosing what supports your growth, even when it is not comfortable. It is choosing long-term respect over short-term relief. It is choosing the actions that match your real goals instead of giving in to every impulse that appears. Honesty with yourself is the foundation of self-control. You must admit when you are slipping. You must face the excuses your mind creates. You must acknowledge when you are avoiding something important. Most people lie to themselves without noticing. They pretend they will start tomorrow. They say they do not have time. They act like they are doing enough, while knowing deep down they could do better. The moment you stop lying to yourself, you take back your strength. Honest self-talk leads to clear responsibility, and responsibility leads to real improvement. Every day there are choices that test your self-control. The choice to wake up when the alarm rings, or stay in bed. The choice to finish the task,
or scroll through your phone, the choice to eat what nourishes you or what slows you down, the choice to speak with respect or let anger control you, the choice to follow your routine or ignore it. These moments shape your character. Each choice may feel small, but repeated over days, months and years, they define your identity. You become someone who shows up for yourself or someone who constantly breaks promises. You become someone who leads their life or someone who always falls behind. Self-control grows when you decide to act based on values, not feelings. Feelings change fast. Sometimes you feel energized. Sometimes you feel lazy. Sometimes you are excited to improve. Sometimes you do not care. If you wait for perfect feelings, you will stay stuck. When you choose the right action, even while feeling tired or doubtful, you strengthen your inner power. You prove to yourself that you can act without depending on a mood. That proof becomes confidence. Confidence becomes momentum, and momentum becomes a new level of self-trust. Many people think self-control is about saying no, but self-control is also about saying yes to the right things. It is saying yes to progress, yes to better habits, yes to the future you want. When you practice self-control, you are not just avoiding mistakes, you are designing a better life. You are showing yourself that you deserve more than temporary comfort. You deserve growth. You deserve success. You deserve a life where your actions match your dream. Honest daily choices require awareness. You must pay attention to what you are doing and why. Ask yourself throughout the day, does this move me forward? Is this helping me become a better version of myself? If the answer is no, then you have the chance to choose differently. Awareness gives you control. Without awareness, you fall into patterns that do not help you. You act without thinking. You waste opportunities for progress. The more aware you are, the stronger your decisions become. Sometimes self-control means choosing patience. Progress can feel slow. Results can take time. You may feel frustrated because you are working hard and not seeing enough change. This is the moment when most people give up. But self-control reminds you that progress is happening, even when it is not visible. Staying patient is a sign of strength. Patience allows your effort to compound and turn into real transformation. When you hold on through the slow stages, your future becomes brighter and more stable. There will be days when you struggle, days when you make the wrong choice, days when you feel disappointment in yourself. This is normal. Self-control does not demand perfection. What matters is the return. Returning to your goals after slipping shows more strength than never slipping at all. When you bounce back quickly, you protect your progress. You learn from the moments you fell. You grow wiser. Mistakes become teachers, not excuses. Self-control improves through recovery, not through unrealistic expectations. Surroundings also influence your self-control. If your environment is filled with distractions, it becomes easier to lose focus. If the people around you do not care about growth, you may lower your standards to fit in. Protect your space. Build an environment that supports wise choices. Keep reminders of what matters where you can see them. Spend time with people who encourage discipline. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do what hurts you. Self-control thrives when the environment respects your goals. Your body also supports your self-control. If you are tired, it becomes harder to make strong choices. If you skip meals or ignore your health, your mind becomes weaker. Taking care of your physical needs is not a separate part of growth. It connects directly to your ability to stay disciplined. Good sleep strengthens your decisions. Good food strengthens your energy. Movement strengthens your mindset. Treating your body well is an honest choice that gives you the power to keep improving. Your thoughts can either weaken or strengthen your self-control. Negative self-talk creates doubt. Doubt creates hesitation, and hesitation leads to avoiding effort. Stick to yourself in a way that pushes you forward. Tell yourself you can handle responsibility. Tell yourself the effort is worth it. Tell yourself you are capable of staying committed. Encouragement is not something you wait to receive from others. You can give it to yourself every day. A strong mind creates strong decisions. Self-control is freedom. It frees you from acting on every urge. It frees you from being controlled by distractions. It frees you from the stress of constantly fixing the consequences of poor decisions. When you strengthen self-control, you build a life you are proud of each day. You feel lighter because you are not constantly trying to repair mistakes. You feel more accomplished because your choices bring real progress. You feel more peaceful because your actions line up with your goal. Self-control also builds respect from others. People trust someone who keeps commitments. People admire someone who stays consistent. People look up to someone who acts with maturity and strength. But most importantly, you build respect for yourself. The way you speak to yourself changes. You stop doubting what you can do. You stop believing excuses. You know you have the power to direct your life. That self-respect is priceless. Every strong person you admire built their success through simple choices, repeated daily. They practiced discipline when no one was watching. They stayed focused while others wasted time. They worked through uncomfortable moments because they valued their future more than easy pleasure. You can do the same. It does not require anything special. It requires honesty. It requires effort. It requires choosing growth again and again. Start today with one honest choice, then make another and another. Each honest choice strengthens the muscle of self-control. Over time, your decisions will feel natural. You will not have to fight with yourself as much. Your standards will rise. Your life will reflect the effort you put in. You will walk with confidence, knowing your actions are creating the future you want. Strengthening self-control through honest daily choices is not about trying to be perfect. It is about choosing what helps you grow. It is about taking responsibility. It is about caring enough for your own future that you stop harming it with careless decisions. It is about showing yourself that you are capable of directing your life with intention and pride. You deserve to live with strength. You deserve to trust your decision. You deserve to feel proud of the way you live each day. Build that strength through honest choices. Act in a way that supports the life you want. Every day you choose what kind of person you are becoming. Choose the person who rises. Choose the person who follows through. Choose the person who takes control.
Chapter 5. Replace comfort-seeking with purpose-driven actions. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it does not build a life you are proud of. Comfort keeps you where you are. Comfort whispers that you can relax and push important things aside. Comfort promises rest, but often leaves you with regret. When you choose comfort again and again, you trade your future strength for short moments of ease. To grow, you must replace comfort-seeking with actions that serve a purpose. You must wake up each day with a clear reason behind what you do. Purpose gives direction. Purpose gives energy. Purpose reminds you that your life can be more than repeated habits that lead nowhere. Purpose-driven actions are not always exciting, but they are always meaningful. When you act with purpose, you move with intention instead of drifting. You do not wait for life to change on its own. You take responsibility for shaping your path. Purpose makes you feel proud of your decisions. You stop chasing quick pleasure and start building a future you can stand tall in. You transform your days from empty moments into steps toward something better. Comfort often appears as harmless choices. One more hour of scrolling, one more day of delaying your goals, one more reason to avoid effort. These moments seem small, but they add up. They slowly steal your potential. Purpose-driven actions look different. They may require effort right now, but they reward you later with confidence, progress, and satisfaction. When you choose purpose over comfort, you choose improvement over excuses. You choose hope over fear. You choose growth over staying stuck. Every time you feel the urge to take the easy path, ask yourself what you truly want.
Do you want to feel comfortable for a short while, or do you want to feel proud long term? Comfort fades quickly. Pride lasts. When you act with purpose, you build a foundation that supports your dreams. You no longer rely on luck because you create your own opportunities through consistent effort. It is easy to chase comfort because comfort does not challenge you. Comfort does not ask for discipline. Comfort does not demand strength. But every skill you want to gain requires challenge. Every success you want requires effort. Every strong characteristic you respect in others was formed through pushing past comfort. Growth comes from choosing the hard thing. When your mind asks for the easy one, change comes from effort that stretches you beyond what you are used to. Purpose-driven actions give meaning to the struggle. When you know why you are doing something, the effort feels worthwhile. The discomfort feels necessary. You feel connected to your goal. A long night of study or a workout that pushes you might feel uncomfortable, but it gives you something comfort never can. It gives you progress. It proves that you are capable of more than you thought. It proves that you take your life seriously. Purpose transforms discomfort from something to avoid into something that builds your strength. Think about moments when you achieved something you once thought was difficult. You probably did not feel comfortable through the process. You might have doubted yourself or felt tired, but after finishing you felt proud. That pride is a sign you chose purpose. You chose action that mattered. Success rarely feels comfortable while you are working for it. The reward comes from knowing you pushed through anyway. Some people spend years waiting for motivation. They wait for a perfect moment when everything feels easy. But that moment rarely comes. Real purpose is not based on feeling ready. It is based on knowing what matters and choosing to act. Motivation comes and goes. Purpose stays steady. When you let purpose lead your day, you keep moving even on days when excitement is missing. You do the right thing because it needs to be done, not because it feels comfortable. Comfort might seem safe, but it can trap you. If you stay too comfortable, you lose the sharpness of discipline. You become numb to your own potential. You forget what you are capable of. You accept a smaller version of yourself because growth would require effort. Purpose frees you from that trap. It helps you break the walls that comfort builds around your future. It helps you reconnect with your goals and your value. With purpose you rise when comfort tells you to sit still. Purpose-driven actions do not need to be huge. They can be small steps done with consistency. Maybe you read a few pages each night to expand your knowledge. Maybe you spend 10 minutes reflecting on your goals. Maybe you use your evenings to improve a skill instead of scrolling endlessly. Even simple actions can create transformation if they are guided by purpose. Over time, small steps add up and you start noticing how far you have come. Honesty plays a role here too. You must admit when comfort is controlling your decisions. You must recognize when your choices are avoiding effort instead of serving your future. Being honest with yourself is not always pleasant, but it is necessary. It wakes you up. It reminds you that you have work to do. When you notice comfort slowing you down, decide to act differently. Do something that aligns with your goals even if your mind wants the easy route. There will be conflict inside you. One voice will say that you deserve a break. The other voice will say your future deserves effort. Every time you choose the second voice, it grows stronger. Your purpose becomes louder. The old comfort-seeking habits lose power. The battles inside your mind transform into victory for the identity you want to create. You begin to trust yourself more because your actions show strength rather than weakness. When you replace comfort with purpose, you also gain time. Comfort wastes hours without giving anything in return. Purpose turns hours into progress. People often say they do not have time to improve, but the truth is they give too much time to things that do not matter. When you focus on purpose, you remove distractions. You stop spending energy on what does not support you. You simplify your life around what is valuable. Another powerful change happens when you live with purpose. You inspire others. People notice when someone is moving forward with determination. They feel the force of your decisions. You become an example of what commitment looks like. You show that progress is possible for anyone who is willing to give effort. Your life becomes a message that speaks loudly without needing words. There will always be comfort available, but comfort does not care about your goals. Comfort does not care about your happiness in the long run. Comfort only cares about the moment. Purpose cares about your future well-being. Purpose cares about building a strong foundation. Purpose cares about the life you want. Ask yourself what kind of life you want to look back on years from now. Do you want to remember how many times you chose the couch or the distraction? Or do you want to remember how many times you pushed forward and changed your reality? That decision is made one choice at a time. You build your future with every action you take today. Push yourself to make decisions that lead somewhere meaningful. Push yourself to do what improves you. Push yourself to keep promises that shape your future. The more you act with purpose, the less comfort will control you. You will discover a stronger version of yourself, and that strength will feel better than comfort ever could. Replace comfort seeking with purpose-driven actions and watch your life transform. Your days will gain meaning. Your confidence will rise. Your progress will become visible. You will feel alive because you are moving towards something real. Choose purpose today. Choose purpose tomorrow. Let purpose lead every step.
Chapter 6. Turn goals into actions. You never skip. Goals mean nothing if they stay trapped in your mind. Anyone can think about doing something great one day. Anyone can write down dreams and talk about the life they hope to build. But the real difference comes from turning those goals into daily actions you never skip. When you act consistently, you begin to shape results that matter. You show yourself that your goals are not just wishes, but responsibilities. Action is where belief becomes real. Action is where progress is earned. Action is where you become someone who can be trusted to follow through. Many people set goals with excitement, but treat them like a decoration instead of a commitment. Goals become a nice idea instead of part of their identity. They think about what they want, but do not build behavior that supports it. Then months pass. Nothing changes. The frustration grows. The truth is, you cannot hope your way into success. You act your way into success. If you want a strong future, you must attach your goals to habits that happen no matter how you feel. Your actions should become so important that skipping them feels like breaking a promise to yourself. When you treat your actions with respect, you build self-trust. Self-trust is one of the most powerful tools for success. It means you believe your future because you know you will show up for it. You do not hope you will follow your plan, you know you will. That certainty gives you confidence every time you take a step forward. To turn goals into actions you never skip, you must first make them simple and clear. A goal like getting healthier is too big on its own. What matters is the daily action that leads to health. Maybe it is moving your body. Maybe it is eating with awareness. Maybe it is drinking more water. Break your big goals into actions that are small enough to do every single day. When the action is simple, you remove excuses. When the action is specific, you know exactly what must be done. Your goal must also be scheduled. If you leave your actions to chance, you will only act when you feel like it. And feelings change too quickly. Give every important behavior a place in your day, a set time that belongs to the action you need to take. That time is not negotiable. You respect it the same way you would respect a promise made to someone important. Because your goals are important, your future is important. You deserve a schedule that protects your progress. Another key is consistency over perfection. No day will be perfect. Life will challenge you. Some days will be harder than others, but the goal is not to win every day with a big victory. The goal is to never stop.
Even if the action is small, you still do it. Even if you only complete half of it, you still do it. Skipping breaks the chain. Doing something keeps the chain alive. The chain of action is what transforms your identity. Every link builds strength. Every day you show up, you make your commitment stronger. There will be times when resistance feels heavy. Your mind will try to negotiate. It will say you deserve a break. It will say you can skip one day. It will say it does not matter. But that moment is the test. That is the moment that separates your old self from your new self. The old self listens to excuses. The new self follows action. The new self understands that discipline is not just about working hard. It is about doing what needs to be done when the lazy part of you speaks loudest. You also must celebrate your progress. Do not wait for the final result to feel proud. Notice the fact that you showed up. Notice how far you have come since the beginning. Every step means you decided to value your goals. Every action means you are shaping the person you want to be. Recognizing progress gives you motivation to keep going. You feel the reward of consistency. You feel the growth happening inside you. Another important factor is removing decision. The more decisions you need to make, the more chances you give your mind to talk you out of action. Set up your life so the action is automatic. If you want to study daily, leave your books ready the night before. If you want to exercise, set out your workout clothes where you can see them. If you want to save money, create an automatic system that supports your goal. Make the right choice easy. Make the wrong choice harder. This is how action becomes a natural part of your day. Give meaning to the actions you take. When you understand the purpose behind each behavior, you feel more motivated to complete it. You are not just exercising. You are building strength and confidence. You are not just reading. You are expanding your mind. You are not just working on a skill. You are creating opportunities for your future. Purpose gives emotion to your actions. Emotion keeps you moving when logic and energy begin to fail. Stay aware of distractions that can take you off track. Some distractions feel innocent, but they steal your time little by little. Pay attention to what pulls you away from your actions. It could be your phone. It could be the people around you. It could be your own thoughts of doubt. Protect your goals. Protect the moments where your actions happen. You are building something valuable. You cannot allow small habits to destroy big dreams. Surround yourself with people who respect your actions, people who support your goals, people who push you toward consistency instead of drifting. When you are around those who care about growth, you feel encouraged. You feel understood. You feel strong. The environment you choose affects how easily you stick to your plan. Choose wisely. Choose the environment that helps you act like the person you want to become. Turning goals into actions also means reviewing your progress regularly. Look at what is working. Look at what needs adjustment. Improvement is a living process. Sometimes you may need to replace a habit that does not help you anymore. Sometimes you may need to increase the level of challenge. Growth does not stop. You evolve not just in results, but in strategy. Be flexible with your plan, but firm with your commitment. Over time, something powerful happens. The actions you once had to force yourself to do become part of who you are. You no longer think twice. You feel uncomfortable if you miss them. Your behavior transforms into a new identity. You think differently. You move differently. You expect more from yourself. You live with higher standards, and those standards open new doors for your life. You begin to look back and realize that your consistency brought you farther than motivation ever could. You realize that small actions repeated daily are stronger than big plans that are never executed. You learn that success comes from being reliable with your habits. You learn that confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. You learn that you are capable of shaping your life with discipline as your guide. Every day you have the chance to prove your goals matter. Every day you get to choose whether you act or avoid. Every day your future is being built by the choices you make. Do not let your goals remain stuck on paper. Give them life through action. Give them consistency. Give them your commitment. Make them non-negotiable. Make them part of who you are. Turn your goals into actions you never skip. Build the habit of showing up. No matter what, take yourself seriously. Treat your dreams like a duty, not a wish. When you do this, you create a life you can be proud of. A life shaped by effort. A life shaped by discipline. A life shaped by choices that lead to something meaningful. You have the ability to make every day count. Use that ability. Act with purpose. Act with strength. Act with belief. And never skip the actions that build your future.
Chapter 7. Live each day with intention and follow through. Every day is a new opportunity to decide who you are becoming. Most people wake up and allow the world to decide the direction of their day. They let distractions pull their attention. They let stress determine how they feel. They let chance decide how the hours go by. When you live this way, life feels uncertain and scattered. Things happen to you instead of you building something on purpose. Living with intention means you take the day in your hands. You choose how you show up. You enter the day with a clear purpose and a commitment to finish what matters. This is how a life of discipline turns into a life of meaning. You have control over each morning. You set the tone. When you open your eyes, you are given a simple question. Will this day move you closer to your best self or farther away from it? That question deserves an honest answer every single morning. Living with intention means refusing to let laziness decide. It means refusing to let fear guide your steps. It means refusing to waste time on things that do not matter when you have a future waiting to be built. Your intentions must be more than wishes. They must connect to what you value. Some people say they want a better life, but their actions say otherwise. They let random behavior shape the day. They wait for the right mood. They wait for the perfect moment. But waiting has never built anything great. Intention is a decision. You decide that your time matters. You decide that your goals are worth effort. You decide that your actions carry meaning. And then you follow through. Following through shows that you respect your own promises. It shows that you treat your goals with seriousness. You prove to yourself that your intentions are not empty lines spoken once and forgotten. When you follow through, you strengthen belief in yourself. If you only talk about what you want, you teach your mind not to trust you. But if you act on what you decide every single day, you build confidence that cannot be taken away. When you live with intention, you choose your actions before the day tries to choose for you. You plan what needs to be done. You know what matters most. You understand your priorities, and you stick to them even when something tempting shows up. Intention gives direction, and direction gives strength. Many people feel lost because they do not have direction. They jump from one thing to the next without progress. But when you begin the day with purpose, you create a clear path. You move step by step towards something important. Every decision becomes a tool for shaping your identity. When you follow through on your intentions, you show yourself that you are capable of leading your life. You show yourself that you are reliable. You show yourself that your word matters. Identity is built through actions. When your actions match your intentions, you become someone who takes responsibility instead of someone who watches life pass by. Living with intention also brings awareness to the value of time. Each day is a piece of your life. Once it is gone, you cannot replace it. When you understand this truth, you stop wasting hours on actions that bring nothing. You start choosing with care. You ask yourself if what you are doing contributes to the person you want to become. If the answer is no, you make a different choice. This level of awareness separates those who grow from those who wonder why nothing changes. There is something powerful in knowing why you are doing what you are doing. It gives your day emotional strength. It gives your actions a deeper purpose. You are not just going through routines. You are building a life that reflects your highest value. You feel more alive because every step means something. You feel responsible for your future, and that responsibility feels like pride, not pressure. But intention without follow-through becomes disappointment.
You cannot live a life of purpose if you stop halfway. You cannot build trust in yourself if you break your own promises again and again. Follow through requires strength on the days when motivation disappears. Follow through means finishing the task even when distractions are loud. Follow through means doing what you said you would do, because your character matters more than your comfort. There will always be reasons to delay. There will always be a more comfortable option. There will always be a moment where your mind tries to escape the effort. Living with intention demands that you recognize that voice and choose differently. You choose the action that supports your purpose. You choose the path that respects your values. You show up even when it feels easier to wait. The sense of fulfillment that comes from acting with intention is one of the greatest feelings a person can experience. At the end of the day, you can look at yourself and feel proud. You feel peace, because you know you used your time wisely. You feel stronger, because you kept your commitment. You feel satisfied because you created progress with your own hands. Many chase pleasure that lasts minutes. Intention creates a satisfaction that lasts and grows. Living with intention does not require perfection. You are human. You will have moments of struggle. You may fall short at times. What matters is that you notice quickly and return to your path. Real growth comes from returning again and again. Intention becomes a lifestyle when you choose to stay responsible even after you stumble. Each return is proof that your purpose means more than a temporary mistake. Following through also builds discipline into your identity. Discipline becomes who you are, not something you try to use occasionally. You no longer push yourself only when you feel inspired. You push yourself because you know that action creates the life you deserve. You begin to feel uncomfortable when you do not follow through. Your standards rise naturally. You develop a deep respect for your goals and for your own potential. When you live each day with intention, you also influence the world around you. Others see your commitment. They feel inspired by your actions. You become someone who lifts others simply by showing what responsibility looks like. You show what strength from within feels like. Without trying to be impressive, you become a reminder that life can be more than drifting and react. You become a living example of personal leadership. There is a quiet strength inside every person who lives with intention, a strength that does not shout. It shows itself through consistent behavior. It grows through daily effort. It shines through decisions that align with values. This strength builds a life that feels balanced, meaningful, and self-directed. It creates results that others admire, but more importantly, results that you feel proud of. Every day is a chance to act with purpose. Every day is a new moment to show the world and yourself that you are serious about your goals. Do not wait for someone else to give you direction. Do not wait for everything to feel easy. Decide what matters. Decide who you want to become. Decide how you will use the time you have, and follow through. Your future is not built in a single moment. It is built in the combination of ordinary days lived with intention. When you give today your best effort and return tomorrow with the same commitment, you build momentum that changes everything. You become the leader of your life one day at a time. Live each day with intention and follow through. You will create confidence. You will create progress. You will create a future that matches your true potential. Each day becomes a step toward a life that feels valuable and well lived. This is how discipline turns into a lifestyle. This is how dreams turn into reality. This is how you become the strongest version of yourself, through the decisions you make today and every day that follows.
Chapter 8. Create a lifestyle that reflects strong discipline. A lifestyle built on strong discipline is not something you switch on and off. It becomes the way you think, the way you act, and the way you carry yourself through every part of the day. Many people try to force discipline only during moments when they want results. They push hard for a short while and then fall back because nothing around them supports the effort. A disciplined lifestyle requires that your actions and your environment work together. Who you are when no one is watching matters more than what you show others. Discipline becomes real when it shows up quietly in everyday behavior. A lifestyle of discipline means you do not wait for the right moment to begin. You bring the right behavior into each moment you experience.
When you commit to discipline, you design your life in a way that supports responsibility. You do not rely on luck or hope. You build structure that reflects the person you want to be. You keep your surroundings in order so your mind can focus on what is important. You choose habits that help you grow instead of habits that drain your energy. Look at your daily patterns. They reveal what you truly value. If scrolling your phone takes hours, it shows that distraction has become a priority. If you always avoid what challenges you, it shows comfort has more control than progress. But when your lifestyle reflects strong discipline, your habits act like a compass. They keep you moving in the direction of success even when the path feels slow. You start taking pride in the way you use your time because your time shapes your identity. Strong discipline shows up in the choices that are easy to ignore. You put things back where they belong so your space stays clean and supportive. You prepare what you need ahead of time so you never waste a day trying to start again. You choose food that fuels your body because you respect your health, not because someone is watching. These actions may seem small, but they build a foundation that influences every decision you make. Every lifestyle sends a message. It either says you take your life seriously or you treat it casually. When discipline becomes part of your lifestyle, the message is clear. You care about your future. You care about the work you put in. You care about who you become. You stop living from reaction and start living from intention. People notice. They see the consistency. They see the focus. They see the respect you have for your own standards. You no longer need to explain your goals because your behavior tells the story. A disciplined lifestyle invites growth. When you act with purpose, daily progress becomes natural. You do not have to force yourself to get things done. You have created a system where success is supported by how you live. You know when to rest and when to work. You know when to socialize and when to focus. You learn how to manage your energy instead of wasting it. This balance allows every part of your life to improve at the same time. Your surroundings reflect your priorities. A clean, organized space supports a clean, organized mind. Discipline often begins with removing what no longer serves you. You clear the clutter. You end distractions that steal hours from your life. You set boundaries that protect your focus. When your environment reflects discipline, you feel stronger and more capable without having to think about it. Your mind becomes lighter because there is less chaos pulling you away from what matters. There will be people around you who do not understand why you choose discipline. They may say you are being too serious or that you should relax more. But you know something they do not feel yet. You know the joy of progress. You know the pride that comes from finishing what you start. You know how good it feels when you earn your success. Discipline becomes less about sacrifice and more about honoring the best version of yourself. Consistency becomes easier when discipline becomes automatic. You train your brain to follow patterns that lead to success. You wake up with purpose because you built a habit around it. You complete your goals because you have designed your day to support them. You manage your time wisely because you have learned to avoid distractions before they even appear. The more disciplined your lifestyle becomes, the less tempting bad habits feel. They lose their power because they no longer match the person you choose to be. Strong discipline also protects your confidence. You do not have to guess whether you will stick to your plans. You trust yourself because your lifestyle shows proof. Confidence is not something others give you. It grows when you know you are showing up for your life every day. Even on tough days, discipline reminds you that you are capable. You may move slower sometimes, but you do not stop. Your lifestyle keeps pushing you forward. When discipline becomes who you are, you do not fear failure. If you fail, you adjust. If you fall behind, you catch up. You use mistakes as guidance instead of letting them destroy your progress. A disciplined lifestyle teaches resilience. because you learn to respond with responsibility instead of excuses. You understand that growth requires patience and steady effort. You develop the mindset of someone who refuses to give up. A disciplined lifestyle influences how you think. You start believing in long-term rewards. You begin to enjoy the feeling of doing what is right even when it is difficult. You understand that every hour invested has value. You feel grateful for the strength you are building because that strength will support you through every future challenge. You shift from wishing to working. You stop dreaming about change and start living in a way that produces change. You deserve a lifestyle that supports success. You deserve to feel proud of your habits. You deserve a daily experience that brings progress and peace. When discipline becomes a part of who you are, your life feels more meaningful. Each action becomes a building block. Each habit becomes a step forward. Each day becomes a reminder that you are in control of your path. So design your life with intention. Build routines that show respect for your future. Organize your space so it lifts your focus, not drags it down. Protect your time from anything that does not help you grow. Surround yourself with people who honor discipline. Let your lifestyle tell a story of strength, a story of effort, a story of growth. Discipline turns into a lifestyle when you choose to live like the person you want to become. Not once, not sometimes, but every day. When your environment supports your purpose, when your habits align with your goals, when your actions reflect your values, that is when discipline stops being a struggle and becomes a natural way of living. That is when you feel proud not only of what you have achieved but of who you have become.
Chapter 9. Act like the person you want to become. Every person carries a picture in their mind of the version of themselves they hope to become. A person who is stronger than the excuses they once believed. A person who has confidence, discipline, and purpose. A person who makes decisions based not on fear, but on who they are capable of being. This image is not a fantasy. It is the next version of you. But that version does not appear by accident. You must begin acting like that person today. You cannot wait for change to make you different. You must behave differently to create change. Acting like the person you want to become means living today with the standards you believe your future self deserves. If you want to become someone who finishes what they start, then you show up and finish. If you want to become someone who is reliable, then you stop breaking promises to yourself. If you want to become someone who achieves success, then you stop taking shortcuts that lead nowhere. Every action is a vote for the kind of identity you want to live with. There is a powerful shift that happens when you stop seeing your goals as distant dreams and start seeing them as expectations of who you are. You begin treating discipline as a personal responsibility. You begin choosing effort over excuses. You begin replacing doubt with commitment. Your behavior becomes a reflection of the future, not the past. Growth becomes a natural part of your day, because you no longer wait for someone else to give you permission to improve. Too many people spend their lives waiting to feel ready. They wait for confidence before they take action. They wait for skill before they practice. They wait for motivation before they move. But confidence comes from action. Skill comes from repetition. Motivation comes from progress. If you sit still waiting for the future version of yourself to appear, the wait will never end. Strength is built through decisions, not daydreams. The world changes when you start behaving like the person you want to become, even if you do not feel like that person yet. There will be moments when your mind tries to hold on to old habits. The old version of you wants comfort. It wants safety. It wants certainty before effort. But the new version of you wants progress. It wants growth. It wants change that is earned. You must choose which voice you listen to. If you listen to the old voice, your life stays the same. If you listen to the new voice, you rise.
You step into the identity that is waiting for you. Acting like the person you want to become means paying attention to how that version of you thinks. What choices would they make right now? Would they avoid the work or get started with focus? Would they speak negatively about themselves or encourage themselves with strength? Would they ignore their responsibilities or take ownership with pride? The answers to those questions reveal the path you must walk. There is no need for perfection. Growth does not require that you win every battle. It requires that you fight for the life you want. Even if you fall short one day, the important thing is that you return the next day with renewed intention. You do not let the old identity regain control just because you stumbled once. Acting like the person you want to become means choosing consistency over perfection. It means recognizing that progress is built through showing up again and again. People often think identity is something you discover, but identity is something you build. You build it through repeated behavior. You build it through discipline. You build it through action that supports your highest values. When your actions align with your identity, you feel stable and clear. You do not question who you are because your life is evidence. You stop needing others to validate you. You validate yourself through strong choices. Acting like the future version of yourself also requires removing the actions that no longer belong. You cannot hold on to the habits that kept you stuck and expect your life to transform. You must say goodbye to the behaviors that weaken you. You must end the patterns that keep you in cycles of regret. You must remove excuses that protect comfort and destroy success. Letting go is a form of strength. Every time you release an old habit, you create space for the identity you want. This transformation is not loud. There is no spotlight. There are no cheers. Most of the real improvement happens quietly in the hours that no one sees. You choose to spend time growing instead of wasting time. You choose responsibility over distractions. You choose integrity over ease. The world may not notice immediately, but you will feel the shift. You will feel the pride of controlling your direction. You will feel the power of becoming someone you respect. Acting like the person you want to become also changes how you react to challenges. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, you see them as opportunities to become stronger. The person you are becoming does not run from difficulty. They grow through it. They do not give up because something is hard. They push forward because the reward is becoming someone capable of handling more. Hard moments are not a sign to stop. They are proof that growth is happening. Standards will rise when you take yourself seriously. You will no longer accept behavior that weakens your character. You will no longer tolerate laziness from yourself. You will no longer lower your expectations to feel comfortable. You will expect more, because you are aiming higher, and this expectation will not bring stress. It will bring strength. You will feel alive because you are progressing. Acting like the person you want to become also improves the people around you. When you raise your standards, you inspire others to raise theirs. When you show what responsibility looks like, others begin to follow. When you walk in confidence, you give others permission to believe in themselves. You become a leader not through words, but through example. Leadership is not demanded. It is earned through consistent identity. This chapter of your life requires courage. Courage to step away from the old version of yourself. Courage to expect more from your actions. Courage to say, I am capable of living a stronger life than this. Even if no one else supports that belief, support it yourself. You know there is more inside you. You know that growth is possible. You know that the person you want to become is not a dream. It is a responsibility. Every day gives you a chance to practice this identity. You decide with each choice whether you are moving toward that person or away from them. When you choose growth, you feel the momentum building. When you choose discipline, you feel character strengthening. When you choose belief, you feel the future coming closer. Each decision is a step. Each step becomes a path. That path becomes your new life. Act like the person you want to become before you feel like that person. Before you look like that person. Before you look like that person. Before others see it in you. Because one day you will look back and realize you already became them. It happened through discipline. It happened through actions that matched your values. It happened through courage in ordinary moments. It happened through a commitment to becoming someone greater than your past. Your new life starts with a single choice, then another, then another. When you act like the person you want to become, you become the person who acts differently. That is identity. That is discipline. That is transformation. Your future self is watching your decisions today. Make choices they will thank you for. Make choices that elevate your life. Make choices that show the world and yourself that you are ready to claim your highest potential.
Chapter 10. Let consistency define who you truly are. The true measure of a person is not found in one strong moment or a rare burst of motivation. It is revealed in what they do every single day. Many people can give effort once. Many people can feel inspired for a short time, but not many can stay committed long enough for success to grow roots. Consistency is what separates temporary success from real transformation. It turns small steps into unstoppable progress. It turns discipline into a lifestyle. When consistency defines who you are, you no longer question whether you will show up. You simply show up because that is who you have become. Consistency is not exciting to talk about. It does not feel dramatic or impressive. It usually happens in quiet places, early mornings when no one else is awake, late nights when distractions call loudly, repeated actions that no one praises. But that is where greatness is built. Success does not need an audience. Progress does not need applause. What matters is that you build the habit of doing the right thing again and again until your results speak for you. A consistent person does not wait to feel ready. They do not wait for inspiration. They understand that feelings will change, but commitment must remain steady. When you rely on emotion to guide your behavior, your life becomes unpredictable. But when you rely on consistency, you become reliable. You become someone others can count on. More importantly, you become someone you can count on. That trust in yourself is one of the strongest qualities you can ever build. Every time you follow through on your commitments, you reinforce your belief that you are capable. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you strengthen your identity. Every time you complete what you planned, even when it feels hard, you remind yourself that you control your actions. This repeated proof builds confidence that cannot be shaken. That confidence does not come from compliments or approval. It comes from seeing your own progress daily. Consistency is a promise you make to your future. Every day you show up, you invest in a life you have not reached yet. You work for results that may not appear right away, but you believe in them enough to act without seeing them. That belief is powerful. It is how ordinary people build extraordinary lives. Not through unpredictable effort, but through persistent action. There will be days when your progress feels invisible. Days when results move slower than you hoped. Days when doubt whispers that your hard work might not be worth it. This is where consistency matters most. You continue because you respect the principle of growth. You continue because you know progress takes time. You continue because quitting would dishonor the effort you have already given. A consistent person does not ask, "Is this working?" They ask, "Who am I becoming each time I do this?" That mindset creates champions. Consistency also protects you from regret. Think about how disappointing it feels to start something,
and give up before it becomes real. You wonder what could have happened if you stayed committed. You carry the weight of unfinished possibilities. When you choose consistency, you no longer live with what-ifs. You give your dreams a fair chance. You remove the doubt that comes from stopping too early. You learn that success is not luck, it is loyalty to your goals. A consistent person understands that habits create identity. When your actions align with your values every day, you become a person of integrity. You do not only want a better life, you act like someone who deserves it. You no longer need to convince yourself that you can change. You see the change happening in the way you behave. Identity is not shaped by one decision. It is shaped by countless decisions, repeated until they become natural. When you let consistency define who you are, you no longer depend on perfection. You focus on progress, even if progress is small. One step forward is always better than standing still. Even on tough days, as long as you take one step, you honor your commitment. Consistency gives you freedom from the pressure to be perfect. You simply continue. You keep improving. You stay in motion. You may admire someone successful and wonder how they reached that point. It was not one big moment that changed their life. It was thousands of moments that looked ordinary. They kept pushing when others stopped. They kept practicing when others chose comfort. They stayed loyal to their goals long after others lost interest. Consistency made them who they are. That same choice is available to you every day. Your future depends on what you repeatedly do, not what you occasionally attempt. A dream becomes reality when you work on it long enough for people to notice. A goal becomes achievement when you refuse to stop. When you keep showing up, you earn the right to enjoy the results. You prove that you deserve what you are building. You become someone who doesn't need to talk about change, because you live it. Consistency demands honesty. You can fool others, but you cannot fool yourself. You know when you are showing up. You know when you are cutting corners. You know when you are doing your best. When you choose consistency, you choose truth. You choose responsibility for your own journey. You choose to hold yourself to a standard that leads to success. There will always be distractions trying to steal your attention. There will always be easy options trying to pull you away from your priorities. But a consistent lifestyle means you protect your goals from anything that tries to weaken them. You set boundaries that honor your ambition. You structure your day to support your progress. You act like your future matters, because it does. When you let consistency define you, people begin to trust your character. They know you finish what you start. They know you can be counted on. They know your words hold value because your actions prove that. But the greatest trust you gain is from yourself. Self-respect grows when you live in alignment with what you said you would do. That feeling of self-respect is one of the greatest rewards consistency offers. As you build consistency, you also build resilience. Challenges will still appear, but you have trained yourself to continue. You have practiced discipline in easier moments, so that when difficult moments arrive, you already know how to stay grounded. You face struggles with strength instead of fear. You move forward with stability instead of panic. Consistency builds the kind of mental toughness that remains calm under pressure. Every day offers a new chance to strengthen your identity. A chance to take actions that represent who you want to be. A chance to leave behind the patterns that once held you back. A chance to prove that you are not controlled by your past. You are guided by your goals. You are shaped by your decisions. You are defined by your consistency. This is not just about success. It is about becoming the kind of person who refuses to live below their potential. A person who does not settle for a life they are unhappy with. A person who knows they can accomplish more, so they act like it. A consistent person does not let their life remain average when greatness is possible. At the end of each day, you should be able to say, I honored my commitment. I stayed faithful to my progress. I moved closer to the future I want. Even if the step was small, it was a step forward. The satisfaction that comes from consistency is deeper than any temporary comfort. It is the satisfaction of someone building a meaningful life. Let consistency be what defines you, not your excuses, not your fears, not your temporary emotions. Let the world see your dedication through the way you live every day. Show up when you are tired. Show up when you are unmotivated. Show up when no one praises you, because strong people show up for themselves. You deserve a life filled with achievement and inner pride. You deserve progress that makes you grateful for the effort you gave. You deserve to become the person you know you are capable of being. Consistency is the path. Consistency is the answer. Consistency is who you must become.